Well, on the show, Jason Bible. Robert Orfino is not here today. This is Texas Real Estate Mastermind, in case you guys are wondering. We just got back from the cruise yesterday, and I can always feel the motion in the ocean for at least 2 or 3 days. And I still, it's less than 24, actually right at 24 hours off the boat. And I literally still feel the swaying. It's like, I don't want to say it feels like you're hungover, but it's just got that ill, not quite right feeling. You're walking down the hallway and the hallway starts to twist and turn a little bit. So in any case, we're recovering. Rob had to go home and take a little nap before the event tonight, which I think we have like 60 people signed up for. So it'll be a full house tonight here at the new office at Beltway and I-10 here in Houston. But fun cruise. There were, I think, 15 of us, 18 of us ended up going. We had 2 folks that had to cancel at the last minute because of some health issues. But for the most part, it was a great cruise. We sold a bunch of property. We talked to a lot of folks about what's coming next for the mastermind, what's coming next for real estate. This will probably be the last cruise where we have, one couple from California and the rest are from Houston. We are headed out to California this month. We will be there the last weekend of the month. In a big way. We're launching the mastermind, the Texas Real Estate Mastermind in California. And a lot of folks have asked me, well, Jason, does that mean you guys are investing in California? And the answer is no, unless it's the house I want on Newport Beach. We're taking all of those folks, all of those investors, and bringing them here to Texas, mostly for buying real estate in Houston or other places in the Gulf Coast. It is going to be spectacular. So I told everybody in our mastermind now, I'm like, guys, get ready. This is coming. California folks really understand real estate because it drives so much of their daily decision making, where to live. In fact, the joke for years had been, if you are a homeowner in Southern California, a lot of times you are selling your personal residence to fund your retirement somewhere else. So these folks know real estate a lot. They're a lot more savvy than just your regular homeowner in Houston, Texas. They are looking to invest their dollars in cash producing assets down here. And we've all heard about the California investors. There's a bunch of them down here. However, we are going to use our mastermind to help them fund their purchases, their renovations, the property management, and then ultimately when they sell those properties. So it's going to be a big win for the folks in California. So went on the cruise, had a great time. It was a 4-day cruise. We zipped down to Cozumel, right across from Playa del Carmen. It's one of my favorite places in Mexico. I am in Playa usually a couple of times a year, although I've been using a lot of those weekends to fly to Guadalajara for another company I'm working on. So in any case, we were down there in Cozumel, had a great time, went to a beach club there, basically hung out with a bunch of people at the pool bar, and then jumped back on the boat and headed back to Houston. So we had a real good time. Like I said, 4-day cruise. Next year's cruise is October 5th. If you are interested in that cruise, why don't you text cruise to 281 401 9008. Does that sound like the right number? 281 401 9008. Text cruise and we'll shoot you over a link. We are leaving October 5th, and this one is going to be a 5-day cruise. So we're going to hit 2 places, probably going to go to Cozumel and what's the next stop? There's a tiny little town. What is the name of it? I'll remember here in a minute. Costa Maya. I'll tell you what I love about Costa Maya. It's my favorite spot to get massages. You literally walk off the boat, and there's this 2-story massage place right there at the end of the gangway, and you just jump in, get your massage. Now, it is kind of funny because, like any massage place, they have that relaxing music, and it's supposed to be like jungle music, like this thing's all jungle themed. But inevitably, you can hear some monkey in the background that's like, and it just startles you because you're in Mexico. You're like, shouldn't be any monkeys here. So in any case, if you're interested in going on the cruise, 281-401-9008. Text cruise to 281-401-9008. So great cruise, talked about a lot of stuff. And we're back here in Houston. So what are we doing now? We are selling a ton of real estate. absolutely selling a ton of stuff. Why? We are raising cash. That's essentially what we're doing. So we do exactly what we tell you guys to do. And that is, you're going to go out and buy some real estate. At some point in the future, you're going to sell some of that real estate, and the rest of the real estate you're going to keep free and clear. That is the ultimate goal for you as a real estate investor. Buy a bunch of stuff, sell some stuff, pay some stuff off. It is no more difficult than that. I will tell you right now, I have worked with some of the most successful real estate investors in the country, and I can tell you right now, you probably don't know them. They don't have YouTube channels, and they're not running around on MSNBC or Fox Business telling you what the world of real estate is going to do. The most successful investors I know are very quiet. They drive an F-150 or a little SUV and to visit their properties and to buy more properties, and that's it. And I'll tell you what makes them successful. They don't make it complicated. One of the reasons they are so successful is it is real, and this is all the way up to big commercial buildings. I know a handful of investors that own some of those big buildings on I-10, and I know some folks that do a lot of single family. And I'll tell you, they all have very similar traits. One is they buy them, and then they hold on to them 5, 6, 7 years. Then they sell some and pay some off. So one of the things I've always said, and this is actually a pretty darn good segue, when you're in retirement, you don't want a whole lot of debt. Because you're retired, you really don't have any means to generate additional cash. That's probably true for about 99% of real estate investors out there. Once they retire out of their active earning years, a lot of times they're just trading up in assets. So if you got a pretty good oil and gas job, you're making $200,000-$300,000 a year, you've got great income to offset any potential losses in your real estate portfolio. Now, why would that real estate portfolio not kick up enough cash to take care of some of those losses? Well, it's probably because you have leverage. And once you remove leverage from the equation, you substantially reduce your risks. Like substantially reduce risk. Now you've got a free and clear asset that's cash flowing a lot. So if something happens, you just write a check out of current cash flow. As opposed to if you had a lot of leverage, then you might be putting additional capital. In other words, let's call it a capital call. If you guys are syndicators, you know what that is. Or you'd have to put additional capital in the deal. So as you get into the dawn of your career, you really want to have a lot of this stuff paid off. You don't want to be sitting on a bunch of real estate that's got a lot of leverage on it. You really want this stuff, what I call deleveraged, as much as possible. And that's what our goal is. That's what we teach here. One of the things we teach is the 10 house method. And that is, you want 10 houses free and clear. I don't care if you're a big real estate mogul or you're, whatever it is that you do. I know it doesn't sound glamorous to own 10 rental properties free and clear, but when you look at what they make you at the end of the day, it's a pretty decent little income. Maybe it's 20 houses, maybe it's 50. It doesn't really matter. But I will tell you this. According to IRS data, what we know is the top 1% of real estate investors starts at 10 houses. There are very few, in other words, 99% of the real estate investors you talk to do not own more than 10 homes. That's an absolute fact. So if you are looking to kind of, as a comparison, by means of comparison on who's doing what, if someone owns 10 rental properties, they are in the top 1%. They will know more than the 99% do. And I know that sounds crazy. You're like, wait a minute, let me get this straight. 10 houses put you in the top 1%? That is absolutely correct. 10 houses. That's all it takes. All it takes for you to be at the top of the pile is 10 houses. So that's why we espouse this 10 house plan. Now, in order to get 10 houses free and clear, we tell you to buy 20. So over a couple of years, buy 20 houses, wait a couple more years, sell 10, pay the other 10 off. I'll give you a great example of this. I own some property that I bought during Hurricane Harvey. I am all in on each one of these houses at $110K. They are now selling for $265,000 in that neighborhood. That's $155,000 in profit. What I should have done and did not, even though I could totally see it, we were busy doing other stuff. I should have bought 20 houses in that neighborhood. In fact, you know what? Let's call it this way. I should have bought 20, sold 10, and paid the other 10 off. I would have made $155,000 per house. I only owed 110. So there would have been $45,000 after I paid off one, after I sold one, paid one off. That extra $45,000 could easily have paid the taxes. I could have upgraded some houses. I could have done all sorts of stuff. In fact, if I'd sold 10 and paid 10 off, I'd have $450K in extra cash after paying the other 10 off. And I'm telling you, this is going to happen again. I can already see the real estate market is slowing down just a little bit. This is supposed to be the worst quarter in years. Last year was not great. This year is going to be even worse, but not by much. So we might see some price declines, but it's going to be really slight. But here's what I know. Interest rates will eventually go down. Even if they don't go down and they stabilize, you're going to see a lot more buyers enter the marketplace. And when you do, you're going to experience rapid appreciation. This home here, I'm all in for 110 grand. It essentially doubled in value in 5 years. And there's no reason why that isn't going to happen again. Now, this is where I get the nasty emails and messages on social media. Well, Jason, my house didn't double in value last year, or my house didn't go up 20% in value last year. I'm like, you're right. If you look at it at 1 year increments, it won't. But if you look at it over 5 to 7 years, very common for real estate to be up between 50 and 100%. So in any case, guys, you want to go on the next cruise, it's 281-401-9008. Text cruise to 281-401-9008. It will be October 5th, 2024. We'll have the link all set up so we can get you guys cabins and enjoy the cruise. It's a lot of fun. So on the days we're at sea, we're doing meetings, and at the days at port, we're out doing fun stuff. And in the evening, we're doing dinners and happy hours and all that. It's a heck of a lot of fun. It's super educational. In fact, one of the folks in the mastermind asked me a question during the cruise, and then I came back from lunch, and I didn't even go to lunch. I went to the hot tub. That's what I did for 2 hours. So I went to the hot tub, and then I came back from lunch, and I said, hey, man, you inspired me to do this new calculation to show people how valuable partnering and doing some other things on the finance side can be on a real estate deal that doesn't look like a good deal. And so I did that for everybody, and they really enjoyed it. So even though we've got our agenda, you guys start asking some really good questions. We just go off topic and start, explaining things. And we've got the time to do it. It's nice. Your cell phone doesn't work at sea. So you're not getting a million phone calls. You're not zipping in and out of a seminar room. It's just concentrated effort for a couple of days. And you really get to focus on your real estate career. You want to go on the cruise? Text cruise to 281-401-9008. Thanks for watching, guys.